Hello, this is a Yamaha U3 upright piano, 131 centimeters tall, made in 1969, which is one of our preferred years for Yamaha pianos. We've talked about this many times. Really anything from 1965 to 1985 roundabout. They tend to vary a bit past that, but I just want to contrast it with this U3M, which was made in 1980, and just to give a few comparisons that might help you to think about what sort of piano you'd be interested in purchasing. Now, cosmetically, the piano Yamahas of this period, I don't think any of them were polyestered. Please let me know in the trade if I'm not right, because finishes on pianos isn't my strength, but I think this is lacquered and not polyester, and therefore it's showing a few marks on it because it's not finished off in polyester. Polyester repair folks don't tend to work on it, so if we look at this here, for instance, you can see one or two marks on the front, which we have got rid of as many as we can. We could potentially improve it very slightly, and we'll try to do that before it goes out, but for this reason it's less expensive than the U3M. Now, the U3M is a polyester finish. I'm not quite sure when the polyester finish started. It would be useful to know if you are experienced with that, but this is a modern polyester is a kind of plastic finish, and it's used on so many pianos these days, and it's very shiny and obviously very perfect, and can be refinished. The scratches can be more or less taken out completely, so this one hasn't really got any. This is in perfect condition, and so cosmetically, that obviously the reason that for that reason it's less expensive. But I want you to point out to you this one or two other things, because this is important to us really. This is U3, and I think from U3G up to, I'm not sure when, probably all Yamahas afterwards are using this plastic desk, which is fine. You can't put book holders in it though, but you can put cat's clips on it, obviously. Now, this is a new Feurich, as you have known if you've seen other videos, it's the make we prefer of new pianos, above all else really, in this price range, similar to the Yamaha. And this is a cat's clip, which allows you to put, it can go in and out according to where your music is, so we supply those quite a lot. This is solid wood, so you can actually put book holders on this, whereas you can't on the Yamaha, it's just too thin. Sorry, I meant you can't on the U3M, but on this older one, this is also solid wood. So there's quite a few things on this piano that are before the real mass production of Yamahas, from sort of 1970 onwards. U3G is the one we tend to like stocking, and that's 1970 to 1975. But this one is earlier, 1969, and we do love to get hold of these because, in my opinion, the tone is mellower, and I think I prefer it. Apart from the music stand, I think these pedals are superior to the later Yamahas too. There's the later U3M. Really, it obviously just as functional, it's just that they're not quite so decorative. Another feature on the 1969 one is this lid prop, which you get on a lot of top quality pianos, and that allows you to prop the lid up, so it deflects the sound towards you if you want it louder. The Feurich also has the prop stick here, and it's also got a one-piece lid, which is actually, just mentioning that in passing, it's actually, to my idea, better to have a one-piece lid, because sometimes if you get water damage on the hinge lid, it can go down the hinge and onto the dampers, which causes a lot of problems. So on the hinge lid, as on the Yamahas, if the water spills on them, which obviously you don't want to happen, but it happens quite often actually, and then the water goes straight down there, it will go through there and onto the action, which is obviously very serious. Now, looking inside the piano, it's in really perfect condition in every way, and we'll look at the other two as well to compare. You can just see that it has been used a bit on the Celeste rail here, but not too much, and it's not worn through. And if we look at the hammers, they're really almost 100%. You can just see the indentation in them where it's been used. We haven't really had to voice the hammers at all. I will fine voice them if necessary. So that's really almost like it's not been played at all. Here's the U3M. So looking at the hammers on the whole piano there, just to have a quick look at the whole thing. So they're both in really perfect condition. Probably the same amount of use, I would say. And there's the Feurich. So brand new piano. We just love Feurich upright pianos and work together with Feurich. They're a Viennese firm, but the pianos are made in China. If we look at the hammers there, well, obviously they're brand new, so there's not much difference in terms of hammer wear if you look at the hammer wear here. In fact, I like to play them in a bit ideally, so the new piano needs playing in. Now the even older Yamahas don't really have any plastic in them. You're just beginning to get some plastic here, so the capstan here and the button here, the let-off button, the plastic. But I think those are the only two things that are on this piano. And on the U3M you can see so we've got the plastic capstan here, plastic button, but we've also got a plastic jack here. Now that's obviously a difficult piece to make in wood. It's becoming more mass produce the piano, I presume. It's easier if this is made of plastic too. And the Feurich, I don't think there's any plastic on at all. So the jack's not plastic, the button here isn't, neither is the capstan. Well, the capstan's metal here, as you can see. The action bolts on the 1969 one already are plastic and not metal as they are on the older Yamahas. And of course the U3M also has them. These two little washers here are always a nuisance. I don't know if you're a technician, you might like to comment on that. And the Feurich, well, nothing plastic on there at all. They seem to have a plastic sheath on here for some reason, but there's no plastic here, and there's no little annoying little washers there, which obviously Yamaha's a very well made piano. I'm just trying to show how well made the Feurich is. And both the Yamahas have this tubular metal system for the pedals. Those are quite nice ring nuts there, and this is plastic here. It doesn't tend to break, though I suppose with the use over a lot of years it might tend to, but generally they're very reliable. That's the mechanism for the Celeste rail, by the way. So I push the pedal down and the Celeste rail comes down so that it's a quiet piano. You can practice your scales without disturbing everyone. So the U3M is very similar. The Yamaha hadn't changed much since that period of time. And the Feurich, I'm pleased to say, still retain the wooden pedal system that older pianos have, and also they haven't got any plastic here. If you look up there, that's the system that they've got, a kind of pulley system, and that works extremely well. So the main work we had to do on this piano, pitch raising, it was below concert pitch, so we've now raised it above. Lubrication, the balance rail, we need to use talc for that, mentioned it before, and reweighing the keys. So you just lubricate before you reweigh in any other way, because lubrication often brings the weight down. So middle C here, just as an example, it's come down from 58 grams. Now that F sharp's 58, so I'm just going to put this, this is actually 60 grams on this F sharp, and let's watch it go down. If I tap underneath, you can see it's going down, just going down. So that's really slightly more than 58. Now we put that 58 on the middle C, which it was, and it goes down really quickly. So I'm going to take some weights off. That's taking 4 grams off, and it's still going down. So we've added weights to the front of the keys here. That's 48 grams. That's not going to go down with that, but I think it'll go down with 52 quite easily. So it's less than 52, more than 48. Well, that's 49 grams, and it's going down quite happily at 49. Maybe slightly less. We didn't have to hit the bass to start it off. So let's say it's 48, which is ideal for middle C. So we've got to do some reweighing, adding weights to the front just to bring the weight down slightly. If you want a heavy keyboard, obviously we've mentioned that before, you can certainly leave it heavy. So the main difference between these used Yamahas and new pianos is that new pianos tend to be weighted perfectly. This is the Feurich, 51 grams, that's ideal. 54 is a little bit of variety here, a little bit more than Feurichs usually are, so we'll have to look at that. But it's pretty good, with plus or minus 2 grams we always say, and ideally about 50, 52 in the middle. That's fine for serious playing. For it goes slightly lighter nearer the top. So let's compare the tone of the pianos. This is the U3 from 1969. And 1980. And the new Feurich. So that's the Yamaha U3 1969, 131 centimeters tall, and really for a modern upright it's one of the best you can get. I'm very impressed with this particular piano. It's the mellow tone that I like particularly, and the touch. It's just slightly heavy, which we're going to make slightly lighter. As I mentioned, middle C we've already done, and the whole piano will be evening out the touch to make it like a new piano. The older Yamahas do tend to need that, and we find that we're always having to do that to just so that they are exactly like a new piano then, and there's no reason why you shouldn't practice on one. If you're interested, then please do write to us, info@robertspianos.com. Thank you very much for listening.